So this is the part of the show where we continue to drink this beer, which is Yacht Party. It's an American lager from Charles Towne Fermentory out of South Carolina. And we are going to review this beer both for our individual untaps as well as our collective show Untapped, which why we started drinking beer early in the show and decided to do math late in the show will always be a mystery to me. But let's give her a whirl.
All right. Well, we've been drinking this beer for a little bit now. What are your thoughts?
I dig it. Like, I think it's exactly what it says it is. Like a nice, crisp, easy American lager. Like, A, it's a 16-ounce can. B, if I could find this in the grocery store in a 24-pack, like I can find most other American lagers, I'd buy this hands down over the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's way cleaner. It's way easier. It's smoother. You can actually get flavor out of it versus some of the standard lagers that are just...
They're too sweet. Like this one still has the like sweetness that you would expect out of an American lager.
I think that might somewhat be the rice as well, because I'm a big rice lager fan, and that does tend to dull some of that sweetness that comes out of some of the lagers. But I like it. I'm gonna give it a 3.75.
Nice. Tiffany, what are your thoughts?
It is. So I agree with everything that Daniel said. I think that
show over.
Done.
I think it is almost like too light though, because it's like a 4%. Like, which don't get me wrong, I love light beers.
We're on a yacht, man.
This is like you know how you say like, oh, I'm just drinking my water, and you're drinking a lager. Like, I feel like this is kind of true in that regard of like it is just so like light, clean, refreshing, which I don't know if I'm mad about or just super stoked on. Like, if that makes sense.
Well, I think you have to pick one.
Yeah, like I like
that's
how this works.
Show is built on.
I know. So I'm gonna go with the 3.75 as well, because I don't know if it's like at a 4 like excitement level for me.
No, I think it would be hard pressed for me to have like a lager that's up and over like you know what I mean? Like, it's a lager. It's exactly, if they're done well, it's exactly what it should be.
Yeah, which means that if
is it exciting? Is it like a standard American lager ever that exciting? That's the hard part.
Right, that is the hard part. I agree.
I think if this one was slightly more malty by like just a touch, it could be a 4.
Okay. Well, I'll send our notes to who used to work for Trillium about how you feel.
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying, like this, and that's where it's like, and that's where I'm like, is it like really exciting that it isn't, that it is a refreshing beer?
Right. To always go back to what I always go back to is what's on the can, what were they trying to do here, and were they successful in doing what they were trying to do?
Right.
Well, I don't know.
So,
I think
to me, it's Yacht Party. This is supposed to be a light, bubbly, fun. You can drink them all day. You're on this yacht because it's hot out, most likely. We're not talking nighttime yachting.
It's got a little
daytime yachting.
It's got a little snowflake. I'm assuming it's not meant for cold or for hot days.
I don't think that's what that means. I think it means pretty cold. If I had to guess.
So yeah, for me, it's like they did what they were trying to do. They named it correctly. Everything about it is good. But I will say also, I'm with you. It's also not an exciting beer, and I think I'm with you, Daniel. You put this in like a 30 rack of 12 ounces. Like, I'll buy this over the other stuff all day.
Yep.
Are you guys getting any grape in this? Do I have something weird going on? Is it because I had the spicy beer before?
It could be you kind of fucked your palate.
I was saying, no,
the
it's
pre-show
sweet,
beer.
but it's not like overly sweet. But like grapes are pretty sweet.
Yeah, I don't get a whole lot of grape. I don't know.
I'm almost getting like a white wine grape in there.
I mean, I could maybe see the white wine aspect of things with how light it is.
Those are made from grapes.
Well, that would be the grape thing. So
Yeah, I know. You can also make things in a white wine barrel that have no grape taste.
Well, I'm getting a little bit of grape in this. I think it's refreshing.
Well,
It's
that's
nice.
great, Phil. Let's move on.
But I'm with you. I don't think it's a 4, but it's a high 3.75.
Yeah.
It's
Don't NFL me.
Mhm.
Don't third in a long 8. Is it 8 yards or not? It can't be a high 3.75. That would be a 3.8.
Well, I can't give it a 3.8.
You could. You self.
It's a solid 3.75. It's
Okay.
not anything below that. It could maybe hit a 4, but I mean, I would easily have a bunch of these
Yes.
on a yacht and be very
I would
happy.
drink these on not a yacht.
I'd drink them on a boat. I'd drink them at a friend's house. Now we're just
I'd
Dr.
drink them in
Seussing.
a box. With a
If I was
pot.
on a yacht, though, 4 for sure.
Yeah.
If I was on a yacht, this is getting a 5. I'm like, this is so appropriately named.
Yeah. And we're on a
Your
fucking
move,
yacht.
Charles Towne. Your move.
Your move.
Rent that yacht, and this gets a 5 on my Untapped. That's like there's like 300 followers. That's a huge thing.
I just love the idea that they invite us to come to a yacht party and we have this beer just to get a 5 now. Like, honestly,
But then Daniel fights them on editing his score.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't. I had it in a different place.
I can't edit. I'm very against editing.
And I'm over here like, yeah, I'll give it a 5.
I give it a 5. Bring that home.
Right.
So 3.75.
Well, yeah, it's a 3.75 across the board.
Not bad at all.
If I can find that icon, I would put it up.
You did.
You did.
I see
Success.
Boom. Success.
Bang.
I found
Right
it.
here.
Yeah.
I pointed the right
Nice.
way. Look at me, weatherman.
Wow.
Weather
Weather
womaning, weather personing.
Weather
Let's do it.
personing.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Well, let's find out what some other people on Untapped thought of this beer and see if we're in the same realm.
Was
So
there a
now
lot of
we're
check-ins of this? Are they heavily distributed?
A pretty good amount of check-ins. I actually don't
Maybe
know
they're
the
up
exact
here.
number. Enough that I could find some reviews that we can bring up. So
Ooh.
So this is the part of the show where we go through Untapped reviews of the beer to see what other people are talking about it, or to see how poor their photography skills are, if they're missing any fingers, just really anything about the check-in.
What they got going on in the, what's the foreground? No, foreground's up front. What's
Background. Background would be the one that's behind what's going on because it's in the background. Okay.
Wow, this 4% beer.
Classic American lager, great for the Zoom Christmas party. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
in theory going to make you stay intelligent.
Yep.
Or at
Agreed.
your normal level of intelligence.
Right. Yeah. You can have a couple of them and still be, again,
Except for me, where I couldn't remember the word background.
that is tough.
I have either one of you had to do a Zoom Christmas party?
Yes.
No, sir.
It seems
well,
like
it wasn't. It was like a Zoom holiday, like happy hour.
It was almost like a happy hour. It wasn't like we're going to be
But
on
we do
Zoom
them
for
regularly
3
anyway.
hours.
yeah. So it's like, hey, work as
Yeah.
well. I don't really.
No. There's no work. It's just like so in my profession, networking is really big. So having different connections outside of your current project group or like administrative like pyramid of like where you fall, it's good to have people you know outside of that. So that's what we usually do.
All right.
But it's like super casual.
Seems awful.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about Tony here. His profile picture, he's way too young to be drinking.
It's a cute dog though. Look at those ears.
This was kind of disappointing. Very light on the flavor. Not a bad one, just barely there. Stealing my sister's description, it tastes hollow.
What does hollow taste like?
Thank you. And
Well, so
also,
this is
that
kind
kind
of
of
where-
sounds like your mother's description of your father. Calm down, Tony.
No, so when I was saying that this could have like just a slight more like malt to it, or just something that gives a little more like, because it's really crisp, it's really clean, it's really refreshing, and it ends really fast. Like there's no like
Hold on.
additional flavors.
He also tagged 2 ghosts. He's drinking this beer with 2 ghosts.
One is his sister.
And one is his sister. No wonder it tastes hollow. You're a ghost, sister. And he earned the Lagerjack level 7. So what?
Not a
what's
big
5
lager
times
guy.
7?
Yeah.
What's 5 times 7, Tiffany?
Mm.
You guys are
What
always
does he
so
know about
smarter than me.
lagers?
I give you a hint, not much. He's only had 9 of them. I'm just kidding.
Homeschool.
I love that everybody's like, what? No,
Hold on.
that's wrong.
Yeah, 35. Because I said it, and then I said it in my head, and I was like, I don't want to do
I
this
just love
math.
that everybody, again, I brought math up. I brought it full circle. Let's keep moving.
A slightly better Bud Light, not offensive, but really not all that interesting.
Not a terrible, I mean, we kind of had that same experience in that capacity.
But
of-
it's an
Yeah.
American lager.
right.
It is supposed to be a slightly better Bud Light.
Better Bud
That
Light,
is
yeah.
That's kind of the
like-
idea.
Just
Yeah, but that is, I mean, he's saying it's not offensive, but if it's only slightly better than Bud Light, it's kind of offensive.
I mean, I consider that a little offensive. And
this is infinitely better than Bud Light.
7:05 p.m. Drink earlier, Jasmine. No wonder you didn't like it. That's your first beer of the day. I'd be depressed about beer as well.
I would be a little sad if I bought it on Tavour, though, because I'm expecting something more exciting.
That's fair.
All right, last one.
For a guy who has all but forgotten lagers. Oh God, Mark died. Oh no, wait, hold on. This was a nice. I read too. I didn't read far enough. I apologize. This was a nice reminder of how enjoyable they can be. Fantastic. He drinks a lot of canned beer. That's nice. And he does not.
I mean, I agree with him on this one. In the sense of like, I don't think that when I see a lager or an American lager, especially in a store, it's not. I don't go to it normally.
Right.
Because I'm like, ugh, it's just going to be simple, light, kind of what this is. But at the same time, there is something really nice about this beer that now I'm like, I'm kind of missing out on some of them. Maybe I should revisit them.
And I think that's part of the beer world in general, because like when you've had a ton of beer, we tend to seek out either high ABVs, crazy
Something
ingredients,
interesting.
something different.
Right.
Yeah.
And then again, like you said, when you come back to it and you have like just a really good crisp lager, it's like, oh yeah, shit, I could drink. Let's not get out of hand, but I could drink like 10 of these a night. Like,
But this is my problem. If you're going to charge me the same amount for this can
right.
as you are for like a really good IPA, like I think I'm going to get more out of the IPA. So almost like it's like, what am I spending like $6 on this can of beer for?
If you're drinking to forget your problems, yeah, always higher ABV.
That's normally what I'm doing. So
if you're drinking because you just want a nice beer to relax at the end of the day, this is a much better option.
Yeah, that was like College Phil that just came out for a minute of like.
We never had beer in college.
No.
Okay, well that was college aged Phil that just came out.
Yep.
Me on the other hand, I don't like.
I remember Teddy Roosevelt and I were trekking across America. Like you have different history than we do. We were drinking bourbon around the campfire.
With John Muir, but actually he did go. My great grandpa did hike with John Muir.
There we go.
Hold on a second.
Was
I'm all out. Let's see if that works.
It doesn't. Our dog is very confused. However,
nope.
What?
Now he's back asleep.
Yep, he's back to sleep now. Don't worry
All
about
right.
But no.
Yes, because I'm thinking of like, am I getting drunk off of this one beer? But
Right.
it's not necessarily the ABV. It's like, am I getting a
Not
bowl
always
of
the
beer?
reason to drink, Bill.
Yeah, for me, I'm purchasing a beer that is like not like this is a great beer to have on hand for like people who don't want to have a crazy beer. This is a great beer to have like alongside a dinner that's kind of a little more of a complex flavor. This is a great beer to have when it's like middle of the day, like noon, and you're doing yard work or something outside.
But this is also a great beer in a 12-pack or above. This isn't a 4-pack beer for me.
Correct. I'm not spending.
That's where
$14
where I'm struggling with it. Yeah,
No,
if I'm
agreed.
going to get a 4-pack of this, it's going to be gone in an hour.
Because
Yeah,
I'm used to drinking heavier things. So
Yeah.
I agree with you. You throw this in
That's
a 30
where-
rack.
Yeah, even a 12 in the 12-ounce cans.
Yep.
I'd put that in my fridge all day.
I put it in my fooder. Excuse me, my fridge.